granddaddy will get hurt.
Manners maketh man. Do you know what that means? Then let me teach you a lesson. Are we going to stand around here all day, or are we going to fight? Sorry about that. Needed to let off a little steam. What do you see? I see potential. Kingsman is an international intelligence agency operating at the highest level of discretion. If you're prepared to adapt, you can transform.
Into a spy.
Interested?
Oh, yes.
You are about to embark on the most dangerous job interview in the world. We're here to test you to the limit, to enhance your skills, train you for the evil out there.
If you get blood on the carpet, you have to take the carpet up.
Can't stand the sight of blood.
To everyone who said I never make it.
Felt sorry for the boy, did you?
No, weren't you mistaken?
He's as much Kingsman material as any of them. More so.
I got a dinner date with greatness.
Mankind is the virus, and I'm the cure.
Sounds like a lot of people are going to die.
Do I look like I give them?
You can't always please the crowd. Still not bowing down. This heavy crowd.
Son of a bitch.
Assalamualaikum and good evening to Dr. Marni and my fellow friends. My name is Nur Anis Batrisha binti Nur Afindi. My group members are Norida Shakira, Asma Ashura, Farah Nurul Hanim, Suhana Izrina and Iqbal Anik. We are from Group 1 and today we will be presenting our reviews about the movie we have chosen. The title of the movie is Kingsman, The Secret Service.
Manners maketh man. You better know what that means or you will be given a lesson. I'm Ash, welcoming you to the Golden Screen Cinemas of Westfield, London for a premiere like no other. Joining us here are the 5 lucky person for their response towards our 2014 most anticipated movie, Kingsman, The Secret Service. Joyful ladies and gentlemen, would you mind to share with the audiences out there regarding on how this movie make you feel?
Kingsman, The Secret Service is like one of the best movies I have ever watched. Personally, I do not really enjoy action genre movie, but I think this one will be an exceptional. I think this movie is not a typical spy action movie, but it is such a silly movie for me. But it embraces that, and out of that creates one of the most fun and entertaining action movies. Besides, the movie's effects, fighting, and actions are unique because there are a lot of different places and situations that keep the movie interesting. Furthermore, for a movie that draws from so many different genres, I would say that Kingsman, The Secret Service is surprisingly fresh. Despite being brutal and humorous in unexpected ways, it managed to amaze me in ways I had previously thought impossible. Finally, I think the violence in the movie is like one of the most inspirational parts. It never seems out of control, but it is unquestionably more violent than your normal commercial movie of this kind. For instance, there is a church scene in particular which stands out for me, I think it stands out in this movie about the violence. It has a perfectly choreographed style which is simply perfect. It is violent, but with some surprisingly fresh martial arts and a cool choice of music to go with it. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
I did feel this movie makes me feel curious and excited. It is because Kingsman, The Secret Service has just the right amount of jaw-dropping action. The plot of the movie is very interesting and there are a lot of scenes that will keep me and any other viewer curious and excited. I do feel regret that I did not see this movie sooner because I like another type of genre. In addition, Kingsman, The Secret Service is an action-packed thrill ride with amazing battle scene and some terrific characters. It keeps making your heart race and makes you wonder what they will do next, how they are going to fight, will they win the challenge, and so on. Especially when XC teamed up with Rosie and Merlin made plans to defeat Valentine. I admittedly would like to see more of their training program because this movie makes you wonder how they learn to fight so well to become Kingsman. Lastly, the only thing that I can say is that I did not walk into this movie with any expectation, but I left really impressed. Kingsman is a movie that you have to see and I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Then the third one that I will feel amazed with the editing and great cinematography. Throughout the whole movie, I love the editing as the editing of this movie is fantastic. There are certain scenes that are polished by perfect editing. The cinematography is also executed and give a little something to the general tone of the film. And these things are specifically noticeable when it comes to the fight scenes, especially when at the church fighting scenes when it made me feel so amazed with the cinematography as the scene become the talk of the town. Above all of this, Kingsman the Secret Service is a spy movie. It serves that genre and does so amazingly well. It is a spy feature for sure, but that great thing is doesn't subject itself to boundaries that the genre presents. It is a new and original production that gives you something no Bond movie ever will. Then I'll pass to the next presenter.
So the movie makes me feel that everyone is valuable and should have a lot of good values to present to society and save humanity from suffering. Since Gary Eggsy agrees to take an agent job to investigate Valentine, a tech giant whose intention is to wipe the entire society but remain with the chosen few claiming he is preventing global warming, his intention is to show moral and good values to humanity. The situation prompts me to have good values and work toward satisfying humanity and the moral supplication. The movie further makes me have good values such as care for mothers. Michael Unwin, the mother to Eggsy, faces tumultuous time in her life since her husband dies. She marries a violent and thug of a husband who frustrates her life. The good value that Eggsy shows is taking her away from the stepfather to start a new life after defeating Richmond Valentine. The entire situation shows that Eggsy is a character that prompts me to have good values and value women in the entire society.
I do think this movie is amusing yet informational. Despite the genre of the movie that is prescribed as comedy, this movie is enriched with beneficial information. Kingsman: The Secret Service does not solely teach me regarding any typical uncommon lesson as of other movies. Somehow, this movie provided me with knowledge pertaining to etiquette, formal and conservative dress code, along with simple physical information. Trust me, as Kingsman: The Secret Service is a spy action movie, this movie does teach me ways to formulate strategy while dealing with a situation that is under pressure. Watching this movie is like killing two birds with one stone for me. I achieve enjoyment as well as brand new fruitful knowledge by doing a single action only. For someone that enjoys action movies that are anticipated with unforeseen humor and spontaneous information, this is a movie to go for.
By watching this movie, for me, the movie Kingsman: The Secret Service taught me that despite the numerous obstacles, we must work hard to achieve our goals. It begins with just 9 characters in this movie. All of them are eager to strike the title of Kingsman. However, not everyone worked hard enough to earn the title as they do not finish the task well. Some of them are simply selfish, which demonstrate a lack of leadership ability to lead an organization. Throughout the task, Ezzy and Rosie are persistent in their commitment to finish it, no matter how unexpected the task may be. Ezzy's willingness to risk his life to rescue the world transformed my opinion of him when he did not take up the challenge on the last test because he was doubtful of his ability to make the decision. It is a Kingsman's job to work hard so that he can accomplish all of his goals. As a result, I strongly recommend that everyone, especially students, watch this movie since it can encourage us to strive when we see our effort pay off.
Problem that has been diagnosed in this movie is the lack of respect concerning other person. In this movie, a character named Charlie is accompanied by another two Kingsman candidates, showing a lack of respect to Axie, where they misjudge and look down on Axie's attire and education background at that time. They underestimate Axie due to the fact that they come from a wealthy and upper-class family. Additionally, another problem that has been identified in this movie is the non-existence of teamwork between each member of a group. In this movie, there was a scene where the Kingsman candidates were unable to show the teamwork as they are too concerned with saving their own lives through finding a way out of the room filled with water. In consequence, this has led one of their members to drown.
Other than that, selfishness and greed are also one of the problems that we have identified in this movie. As we can see in the movie, a billionaire tech tycoon, Richmond Valentine, is out to literally tear down the world in order to build a better one as an outcome for his selfishness. The tactic that he used was using a broadcast signal sent from his SIM card to all phones that contain it, causing people to become violent and kill one another as a result of the uncontrollable outbursts of energy. As a result, the new world will theoretically only be passed down to the multi-suffering descendants. It was shown that selfishness and greed become the problem of this movie. Last but not least, the third problem is that this movie shows a conflict between Axie and the oppressive push legacy of the organization he is attempting to join. His effort as for educated peers mock Axie during the long training sequence. Even as Axie tries to climb the social ladder, Axie despises, but he is not afraid to sickle with delight at Spy 101 stunt like skydiving, which director Matthew Vaughn captured with design speeds. There are so many things that the movie had been missing out, like a training exercise in seducing the target, which ends before it can achieve any comedic value. Then I will pass to the next presenter. The message in this movie is a leader supposed to be a good leader to the members. I do agree with it in the Kingsman The Secret Service movie. As according to Kate Davis, leadership is the capacity to persuade people to eagerly pursue desired goal. Leadership also the ability to influence, encourage and empower others to contribute to the success and effectiveness of organization in which they are the members. So, leaders have to utilize influence to motivate members and organize the workplace so that members will perform their duties more efficiently. A good organization refers to a good leadership displayed by the leaders for making an organization successful. Hence, a leader in an organization must possess excellent leadership skill, show a good example to their employees, and lastly, be the best among the rest. Members will be more inspired to behave positively if the leaders provide a good example for them to follow in leaders' footsteps and vice versa. This is seen in the scenario in which the Prime Minister agrees to the Richmond Valentine's evil idea of wanting to thin out the world overpopulation and climate change using aggression-inducing wave emitted from his company's SIM card for his own self-benefit and political pleasure. A good leader should not act in such a manner. The Prime Minister has revealed a negative side of himself by becoming a greedy and self-centered for his own immoral gain. It is fair to point out the members will be exposed to poor behavior in the organization as a result of this kind of leader. No matter how many temptations or difficulties the leader encounters, they should constantly strive to be a person of integrity. The second message in this movie is that good communication is essential for organization, and I agree with that. Communication is the way for an organization to organize their action and reach their goal. In other words, Communication serves as the lifeblood of an organization. Therefore, effective communication is essential for understanding people and situations, as they enable individuals to overcome differences, making trust and respect, and facilitate the exchange of creative ideas and problem solving. To have a successful and efficient communication system, one must be skilled at sending and receiving communication. This message is conveyed in the scene in which Valentine demonstrates, particularly in his ability to communicate with others. This is the primary factor in his mission accomplishment. He effectively persuades the main Kingsman, namely Arthur, and numerous individuals by making a SIM card free for everyone, so they can use the communication network for free. But actually, without people knowing, if the device is activated, everyone who has the SIM card will do aggressive and brutal acts such as killing each other.
The third message of this movie is the significance of teamwork in a group. This movie shows how important it is to work together to get a task complete. In organization, the best definition of teamwork is a group of people working together to finish a task or reach a big goal. Team success depends on how well the leader develops and runs the team. Teamwork is absolutely essential for a team to work well. If there are no ideas or plans for teamwork, it can lead to the job failure, disappointment, low morale, and low productivity, which can threaten the organization overall. As in the movie Kingsman, the Secret Service, Ezzy, Rosie, and Merlin are the only ones left at the end of the movie. They target to destroy one of Valentine's satellite to stop end of the world plans. Rosie is in a stratosphere balloon. From there, she will shoot down the satellite. Ezzy and Merlin immediately attack Valentine's hideout. Rosie destroys the satellite and Ezzy fight Valentine's troop. Meanwhile, Merlin activates the security chip and murdering Valentine's companion. Ezzy kills Valentine and saves the world by killing Gazelle with a neurotoxin in her shoes. In order to accomplish the mission, three of them obviously demonstrate teamwork. This scene highlights the importance of teamwork in an organization and proves that teamwork is the key to success. Lastly, we must be confident of ourselves when making decisions in an organization. Confident involves recognizing your own worth and trusting that others will acknowledge with your value of your service. In this mindset, you are confident in your own abilities and know exactly what you are capable of accomplishing. This is a trait that will serve you well throughout your professional life. Confidence helps us tackle the obstacle. Confidence also helps us connect and embrace opportunities. People who lack of self-confidence may be hesitant to try new things or socialize. Failure may discourage them from trying again. People who lack confidence may be unable to realize their full potential. In the movie Kingsman, the Secret Service, as part of the last test, Ezzy is called into outer room with his dog. Arthur provides Ezzy a 44 caliber handgun to shoot the dog. Ezzy didn't know about Merlin's test for Rosie in another room. Ezzy does not shoot the dog, but Rosie does. Since he did not shoot the dog, he is asked to leave the room. Ezzy discovers the bullet were blank. There is conflict here as Ezzy cannot decide if he could shoot his dog or not in order to join the Kingsman organization. Everything in the company does involve risk. A leader or anyone in the organization must be risk-tolerant and confident in their decision, even if it costs them. Furthermore, we must be professional, which means we can make the decision based on how we feel. We will be thoughtful about our decision and unable to focus. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presentation.
First of all, I think having a good attitude is like a critical factor in ensuring the accomplishment of organizational goals. This is because the bad attitude and mentality will not only damage the person but also the overall organization. So one must take action in striving to transform for the better version of oneself and the organization. As shown in the movie, Charlie and other members of Kingsman were very much disrespectful to Eggsy, as they were doubtful of Eggsy's ability. But even so, they should have strived to present a positive image towards others and themselves. If they were not able to establish a positive attitude, the mission will be a failure, and all the hard work and hard effort will generally result in waste of their time. Furthermore, I think it is very important for a team to be communicating well so that the message are delivered clearly to the members. By doing so, it will make it easier for the members to comprehend the vision and purpose that the organization intends to accomplish. It is also necessary to create trust among members so that their job may be done easily. Trust may be created through open communication. So, open communication is like an essential tool to create trust, particularly in the organization. Consistent communication is perhaps the most effective way to help people instill trust in you and ensure your practice a success. When communication is done, be honest and open. In the movie, although the team members were at first reluctant to accept Exe's potential as a Kingsman, they were able to do so over time by strengthening their friendship and maintaining open communication within the team members. It can also change the members' perception towards Exe. Furthermore, Exe experienced a lack of trust and honesty from his team members. As a result, he must communicate effectively with team members in order to foster trust among them. That is all from me. Thank you, and I will pass to the next presenter.
So the third one is always be prepared. Always be prepared to take any role that can address the issue of conflict against humanity. Regardless of the situation and the condition of the task ahead, everyone should be ready to be considered among the elites and the moral group whose aims are to ensure peace and stability in the society. Gary Exe is always prepared to tackle any challenge regardless of how difficult it might seem. And the last one is never leave your teammates behind. The unity in the struggle to defeat Valentine shows that teamwork is an ideal concept and factor that solves issues against humanity. Exe, Merlin and Roxy move on with the fight to the end and do not give up regardless of the temptation and the tribulation. Such an aspect reveals that teamwork assists in the solution to societal issues such as crime against humanity and the disrespect to human existence. Also, a probationary secret agent sacrificed himself for the entire team to show teamwork and assist in the continued hunt for the person behind the crime against humanity. Such an aspect reveals that the solution to addressing crime is having a team spirit and the optimism to achieve the feat against all odds. In conclusion, Kingsman, the Secret Service film, is a representation of team, sacrifice, and the value that humanity should relish. Although there are many trials and tribulations and the rugged perception by people, optimism, hard work, resilience, intelligence, and morality should guide everyone. The more an individual believes in team, the higher the chances of defeating every little enemy that might cause havoc in the security. The movie further emphasizes on having good morals and the preparedness to take any role that can ensure the solution to an issue in the society. That wide approach is an ideal factor that contributes to the importance of this movie and the needed analysis for ease in grasping the content and their application in the entire societal aspect. To sum up, this movie contains a lot of organizational behavior values. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.